Put him up for the Niners. Yeah, the city right behind you. Who the 5-time NFL Super Bowl champs? Could you please remind them?
Hey, how's it going, YouTube? The Joking Nation here, and a lot of you guys have been sending me PMs and messaging my videos on how to set up TTMs and how to prepare them, what to send, and how to look up like a player or a celebrity's address, a fan mail address. So today I'm going to do a little how-to tutorial on how to send a TTM and how to prepare a TTM. Now, if you guys don't know what a TTM is, TTM stands for through the mail, which means you send this player or the celebrity a card or a photo for them to sign and have them return it back to you. Now, I only do football TTMs. I only do 49ers. I might lean towards celebrities in the future, but for now I'm just focusing on football and things like that. You guys already know I'm a Niners fan and football collector. So first off, obviously you're going to need, let's just say we're doing football. Obviously you're going to need a photograph, like one of those 8x10s, or you can use these cards right here, these little base cards. Here's a Randy Moss right here that I'll hopefully be able to send in the future. If you do not have a base card or a photo, you can always use an index card. I know a lot of people use index cards. I personally do not like to use index cards. I just think it's too plain for a player to autograph. You know, I'd rather have him sign on a base card. And if I do not have a base card of that player, I'll use one of these custom TTM cards, which you can purchase off eBay. This is a Rackers custom cards. Very nice, very good quality. The surface is good enough for them to actually Sharpie or use a marker and just write it on it. It'll stick, and autograph normally comes out really nice on these cards. So look into these if you don't have any base cards of a certain player. Now next, you're going to need a letter. A short, simple letter, kind of talking about yourself, talking about the player, and things like that. Now for this letter right here, I kind of just I printed it out. I mean, I send TTMs all the time. I send a whole bunch out, and obviously, you know, when I send out batches at a time, it's normally between 25 to 50 TTMs at a time, and that'll be a real hassle for me to handwrite every single one. Handwriting it is not a bad thing. It's pretty good actually, because it keeps it more personal, like you're personally handwriting this letter to this player or the celebrity that you want to sign. You want them to sign your card or photo, but again, just keep it short and simple. Don't write like a whole paragraph or essay, don't write like a whole essay. Just write like a paragraph or two. Keep it really short. Keep it really simple. I'll go ahead and just give you guys an example of what I wrote to this person. I'm sending to Nikki Johnson. If you guys don't know who Nikki Johnson is, she's actually a quarterback for the Las Vegas Sin. So, you know, I wrote, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Johnson. My name is blah blah blah. I'm a huge football fan and autograph collector. I started the hobby a few years ago, and I'm trying to build a big collection so I may one day pass it to future generations so that they remember former football greats," and you know, things like that, yada yada yada. And always be respectful. I mean, you're sending a request for these players or these celebrities to sign something and send it back to you. So, you know, just be respectful and things like that. I put, "Oh, if you can please sign on the card I send you, I'll be grateful. You know, I understand you are a busy person, and it's not a big deal if you do not have the time to sign these cards, or if I do not get these cards back." And also, you know, thank them. You know, like I would like to thank you for your time and all you've done, sincerely. And then I autographed it right there. Just again, because I printed this out on a computer, you know, I want to keep it personal, so I would personally just go ahead and autograph it for this player. So you're gonna need that letter, and then you're gonna need 2 envelopes right here. Now, one envelope, this one right here, it's self-addressed to yourself. It stands for S-A-S-E, and S-A-S-E stands for self-addressed stamped envelope. So this is the envelope that you're gonna put along with the one that you're sending out, so that they can use this to send your card back to you. Now, obviously for this one, you're gonna want to address it to yourself. That's why it's called a self-addressed envelope. So I put my name there, I put my address, and also on the return address, you know, just I also put my information as well, just in case. Sometimes, I don't know, I guess the USPS, they if anything happens, like they can't deliver to my own address, they'll look at the return address, and then, you know, so it's good to have both your return address and just the address to yourself. And also, I like to put "Do not bend" right here on the front, and also on the back. This lets USPS know that, you know, they should be more careful with this envelope, and they just can't just toss it around like that, because keep in mind you are putting a card in here. Cards are very fragile; they can bend very easily and get damaged. So it's nice to put that there for them, to let them know. And don't forget the stamp right here, guys. This is the most important thing. Don't forget the stamp here, because you're sending this to the player so they can send back to you. Obviously they're not gonna take time off their own hands to put their own stamp and go to the post office themselves or whatever doing. So make sure you always stamp your self-addressed stamped envelope, and then once the player signs, hopefully if they sign, they put your card in here and just give it to their team facility manager so they can just send out for them. Now once you have your SASE, obviously you're going to need the envelope that you're going to send to the player. Now here's one that's going out to the player. Again, this is to Nikki Johnson of the Las Vegas Sin. Oh yeah, sorry guys, I forgot to talk about on how to look up a player's address or celebrity's fan mail address. Now you can always search it online. I know there are quite a few websites. There's not really one that I use in particular. I just go ahead and search a player's TTM address or a celebrity's TTM address. And normally there's like there's a lot of sites where they'll have it up there. So just go ahead and do a little Google search on it. You'll come across like one or two websites that actually have like a bunch of addresses that you can use and that are actually certified. Now, if you don't have a player's specific fan mail address, you can always send to the team facility. Like say if I were to send to Frank Gore, I would send to Frank Gore and I would address it to the Niners team facility, and always put like CO. You put Frank Gore and you put CO San Francisco 49ers on the bottom of it, so that they know that it's going to the team facility. So once it gets to the team facility, what they do is that the mail guys over there, they'll actually look at the name and then they'll put it in the player's locker room. So they'll take it says Frank Gore and then they'll put it in Frank Gore's locker. Sometimes, like in the off season, if you were to send to the team facility, they can actually take that letter to Frank Gore, and even though you addressed it to the team facility, they can actually take that and they can actually forward it to Frank Gore's home address, so he can sign during the off season. I like to sign during the season, during training camp, during the preseason, during the beginning of the regular season. So they're actually at the facility, so they can actually receive the card and receive the letter. So this goes for pretty much anyone. Just go ahead and look up their TTM or their fan mail address. And again, if they don't have the fan mail address, always look up the team facility address. Say if you were to also send to like Peyton Manning or whatever, look up the Denver Broncos team facility address and then address it toward, put attention Peyton Manning, and send and address it to that team facility so it gets forwarded to them. Do not bend on the front. Do not bend on the back. So I'll go ahead and grab my custom card right here. My letter. I like to put it in the letter. And then my self-addressed envelope right here. I like to put it directly over the card just to give it a little more cushion and added protection. After that, put them together. And all you gotta do is seal it, and it's ready to go out. Now, on some tips of if you're sending a card, always make sure you pick a card that they can actually autograph on. Now, for example, I got this little Sean Hill card right here. I actually autographed it myself right here, because you guys already know I like to send out my autographed stuff whenever I make transactions. I know it's kind of lame, but this Sean Hill card right here, this Sean Hill card from Rookies and Stars. Now, this is a very glossy card. The surface on it and even the back is very slippery. It's glossy. Now, if I were to write it with a Sharpie, it would smudge. It would smudge and it would not print correctly. Now, how did I get this autograph on her to look so good? The marker ink and all that. There's one way to do it. you can always there's two ways actually, two ways to do it. First way is what I like to use is baby powder. Now, with the glossy cards, get your baby powder, put it on the surface of the card, and just kind of spread it around the card, the baby powder. Let it sit for a few seconds, and afterwards get like a tissue paper and just kind of wipe off the baby powder. And afterwards, I would actually set this card flat on the table and just rub it down. Rub it down, make sure it gets a nicer surface on it, and you're also cleaning off all the excess baby powder. Make sure the card is completely clean of the baby powder. I mean, you wouldn't want the athlete to open up the letter, pull out the card, and have all this white powder on it that they don't know what it is. So that would actually freak out the athlete. And I mean, I would get freaked out if someone did that to me. So always make sure you rub down the card just to get all that baby powder out, and just so it's clean of baby powder. Now after that, after you put the baby powder on it, it should create a better surface for the player to actually use a marker or a Sharpie to autograph on it. That's why I use this as a test card. So I use it as a test. I put it on the front, I put it on the back, and then after I rubbed it down, I actually wrote on the back, and it actually came out really nice. And then I did the front, and it came out really nice. So baby powder definitely works. I've been doing that baby powder thing for a while now. Now, if you guys don't have a baby powder bottle, you can always use a eraser. Now, the eraser thing is a little more iffy. I don't like using it personally because I don't want to damage the surface of the card. If you're going to use an eraser, you got to be more careful with it. So what you do with the eraser, you carefully just erase the surface of your card. So you would take that eraser, just kind of carefully just rub it down, let all the eraser things get on the card, and just kind of spread it all around the card, and then you would actually wipe it down afterwards. And what the eraser thing does is actually kind of like the baby powder. It creates a better surface for the players to sign on the card. Again, that's a little iffy for me. I just want to make sure the surface of the card is fine, so I would prefer the baby powder method. But if you guys don't have baby powder, you guys only have an eraser, just go ahead and use the eraser, you know. But baby powder is actually pretty cheap. That bottle is like $3 to $4, so it's not that bad. I mean, I've been using it for a while now. It will last me pretty long. But it's completely up to you guys. You know, if you guys want to use the eraser trick or the baby powder trick, it's up to you. So, well, I mean, that's pretty much it on how to send a TTM and how to prepare a TTM. So, again, guys, always make sure you stamp your envelope. Always make sure you be respectful when you're sending out to the players in your letter. You know, just keep it short, keep it simple. Remember, I like to always put "do not bend." I like to do it on the front and back just to make sure. And also one last thing. I mean, you can if you want, but don't ever put your card in a penny sleeve. I don't like doing that because a lot of times the players, when they pull out the card with the penny sleeve on it, they'll actually sign on the penny sleeve, and then that'll ruin your autograph because then it won't come out nice in the penny sleeve, and it's the penny sleeve that the autograph. It's not the actual card itself. So, I mean, I know some people do that. Some players are actually smart enough to take the card out of the penny sleeve, autograph it, and then put it back in the penny sleeve. But, I mean, a lot of times they won't do that. They'll just sign on the penny sleeve, and that's it. So, if you guys want a better success, I personally will not use a penny sleeve. I've never used any penny sleeves, and all these cards actually came out really nice. All my TTMs come out really nice, undamaged. So it actually works out really nice just because I have the do not bend thing right here, so it helps as well. But there you guys have it. I hope this tutorial was good enough for you guys. If you guys have any other questions on how to send TTMs or anything in general, go ahead, send me a message, send me a PM, comment below. Again, I'll be doing a series of how-to videos, how to store cards, or how I do it at least, how I store cards, how I protect my cards, and things like that. But thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.
That's Smith crack. That's Smith crack. That's Smith crack.